Hurricane Michael slams into the Carolinas. A Saudi journalist goes missing in Turkey. And advanced polling is underway in Toronto's municipal election. Humber News starts right now. I'm Katelia Wright here at the newsroom at Humber's North Campus. It's Thursday, October the 11th. Here's what's making news. Tropical storm Michael heads northward after barreling through parts of Florida. The Category 4 hurricane hit the U.S. today. It's already led to destruction of several homes and businesses. Michael tore through Florida, tearing down stores and homes in its path. The storm crashed down on Wednesday afternoon and brought down trees and power lines across the state. It has already been named the third most powerful hurricane to ever hit the U.S. mainland. Later today, the storm will move north to Georgia and the Carolinas. It has since been downgraded from winds of 250 kilometers per hour to 85. The wife of Lebanese ISIS fighter says she was tricked and captured in Syria last year. Now she wants to come home. The 26-year-old Toronto woman is calling on the Canadian government for help. She fears that if she stays, she'll die soon. The woman was captured by Kurdish forces and brought to a site near the Iraqi border. A prominent Saudi journalist has been missing for a week now. Jamal Khashoggi's last known sighting was in Istanbul, Turkey. Khashoggi was a known critic of the Saudi regime. The last known footage of the Washington Post columnist is from inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Colleagues who work alongside Khashoggi speak highly of him.
And I would just tell him, I hope you're okay. I hope you come back. But if not, then just thank you. Thank you for everything you've done.
He allegedly went to the consulate to get wedding papers while his fiancée waited outside. Turkish officials privately believe that he was killed at the consulate. A group of U.S. senators wrote to the White House demanding U.S. authorities to determine what happened to Khashoggi. Ahead of Election Day later this month, Toronto is making it possible for you to vote early this week. At City Hall and in parts of Toronto, voters can cast their ballots in any of the 25 wards. Patrick Simpson has the story.
In Toronto City Hall, voters are waiting in line to cast their vote. It's part of an advanced voting service that's starting today and will run for the rest of the week. Unlike on Election Day, voters can cast their ballot on any ward within Toronto or the GTA. Toronto City Hall is just one of 50 locations where voters can vote early this week, with each ward getting 2 places that will allow the advanced vote. To vote, you need to be a Canadian citizen, at least 18 years old, and a resident of Toronto. Advanced voting has had success in the past. In the last city election, more than 160,000 people cast their ballots ahead of time. The early vote will be open every day from 10 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Advanced voters have until this Sunday if they want to cast their ballot ahead of Election Day later this month. Patrick Simpson, Humber News.
Ontario businessman Frank Stronach is suing his daughter and 2 grandchildren for allegedly mismanaging family assets. Stronach, who's in his late 80s, is the founder of the auto parts company Magna International. He seeks for more than $500 million in damages. His daughter Belinda Stronach has denied the allegations. In other news, cannabis legalization is less than a week away. We took to the hallways here at Humber's College North Campus and asked faculty and students what they thought about pot becoming legal.
Personally, I'm indifferent. I don't really see much of a change towards Toronto after weed being legalized. I can imagine there'll be a lot of more stoners happy, but yeah, they have enough regulations against it, so I'm confident for the most part.
I have a pretty bad feeling about this just because people are probably not going to follow the rules when it comes to like driving, and maybe they might go smoke weed and then get into the car afterwards.
Helps people with anxiety, medical conditions, either on the recreational side or even on the medical side.
I'm not against smoking marijuana. My challenges are that I think that the younger people don't realize what it could do to them, especially when their brain isn't fully developed. I also have a lifetime experience of one of my boys who suffers from schizophrenia, and they think there's not facts on it, but we feel that because he was smoking marijuana when he was younger, that it brought on his mental health risk. He was probably susceptible to it anyways, but this probably encouraged it.
Some people like to smoke it. It helps people. It's for stress causes, so a lot of people here would probably do it for stress. I think the government's just doing it to make money, and at the end of the day, it's gonna ruin society. Like, kids are gonna get involved, and then again, the government's just trying to make money. So my opinion on it is, should it be legalized?
It makes me nervous at the moment to see how things are going to be handled and how people are going to handle it. And I'm worried about silly things like pets getting a hold of edibles or kids or whatever.
It's good and bad depending on the person who you are, but I do feel it will bring society together more, and it will definitely bring a big change to Canada, which I'm willing to see. I think it'll be good.
It's good that it's being legalized so that people don't have to risk a lot to do what they're already doing. And let's face the facts, they've been smoking it since, like, I don't know, 60s, 70s. It's been popularized many years ago, and I think it was long, it was about time that it became legal.
New developments in the sexual assault case against Harvey Weinstein. The district attorney took a closer look and found holes in this case. One of the accusers is believed to have not been completely truthful. This led to all charges involved in her statements being thrown out altogether. The charges involving the other two accusers still hold firm. A rocket carrying a U.S. astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut failed mid-air. American Nick Hague and Russian Alexei Ochiny were on their way to the International Space Station when the rocket failed. It happened just minutes after takeoff in Kazakhstan. Footage from inside the spacecraft shows these two men being shaken at the time of failure. The pair were forced to make an emergency landing. All Russian manned space launches were suspended effective immediately. We're going to take a quick break. Still ahead, the latest in sports. But first, Terrence Fishendale has a preview of the 3-day weather forecast.
It's still feeling a bit like summer today in Toronto, but don't be fooled by the warmth. Keep your jackets handy because a chill is on its way. I will have your 3-day forecast later in the show.